Right about now. Skiddly down, 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 down.
I'm Joey once again, and we're reaching out all the way to the UK today. We have Maisie Peters join us. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am very well, and you look lovely. And I'm guessing you're in your bedroom right now.
I'm actually in one of my housemates' bedrooms because she has better Wi-Fi than me, so I've stolen it. But yes, lifestyles of the rich and famous.
That is a brilliant way to do it. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the new single. It's called John Hughes Movies. Are you a big fan of John Hughes movies?
I am. I think you would have to be to make a whole song about it.
I guess so, yeah.
Yes.
What's up? But okay, first off, there are different periods of his movies, right? Like there's The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I don't think you were. I don't think you were in this world then. So which was the first John Hughes movie that really got your attention?
I think the first John Hughes film I watched was Ferris Bueller, and it's still my favorite.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's probably my favorite. But I'm also I'm a big fan of The Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink and sort of all of those universes.
Okay, and did you get into Home Alone as well?
Funnily enough, I've actually only watched Home Alone once, and I was watched with many people talking as ever. It was a Christmas film, so I can't say that Home Alone has been given my full undivided attention, which I will remedy soon. I
can tell through the song because the song is mainly about how you see a lot of romantic scenes in John Hughes movies, right? And Home Alone was not that, so I figured, okay, that's not the one that she's talking about. Which one was on your mind when you wrote the song?
Oh, good question. Probably Ferris Bueller or The Breakfast Club. Maybe The Breakfast Club.
Okay, yeah.
Just because, the song essentially talks about how life is not like a John Hughes film. So I guess really it was more on my mind the tragedy of my actual life, and then
of your dating life.
The John Hughes film. Yeah.
Okay, Maisie, you were born and raised in Brighton. Is that correct?
That is true.
Okay, and I know that there's a huge festival that goes around there every single year. Have you ever been to it?
Yes, The Great Escape. I've played it a couple times, which has been very fun. Playing in your hometown is always the best because you can just, roll between your home and your festival and your friends. It's very fun. So yeah, I have played a couple times and it's the best.
No, actually, I didn't know you played there. What was the first time you played there?
Oh, I guess a couple of years ago. I think I played twice. And I played in a little random church because it's all in very cute, quaint venues. So I played in a church. And I played in the downstairs of a bar, which was less cute. But yeah, I've a couple different places.
Okay. On your 12th birthday, you got your first guitar. Is that correct?
On my 12th birthday, I didn't get my first guitar, but I think I borrowed a friend of mine's guitar. Actually, a friend who I live with now, very full circle. I borrowed her guitar and I started writing songs. And then I accidentally broke her guitar. So then I bought my own, and I'm going to buy her a guitar one day when I'm very successful.
One day? You still haven't gotten around to it?
Well, I told her that she can cash it in now, or she can cash it in later when I can get her like a crazy guitar. And she was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll cash it in later. She's
a smart gal. She knows that you're probably going to be worth a lot more later on down the road. What was the first song you learned to play on that guitar?
So random. Two very different songs. There's a song called Downtown by Lady Antebellum, which is like a country song. And then a song by a woman called Anna Nalick called Breathe that was on the Grey's Anatomy episode where there's a bomb. And that's what I say to people when I describe it, because that's how I found it.
Why? Were you a big fan of Grey's Anatomy?
I was. Derek Shepherd was the blueprint back in the day.
I agree with you. That is a good call. By the way, Downtown's a good choice. How does it go? I don't know why you don't take me downtown. It's not like you have anywhere else to be. That's a great song.
I can't believe I think me and you are the only people that know that song ever.
No way.
Lady Antebellum. But such a good song.
So your favorite act is Lady Antebellum?
My favorite act is Taylor Swift, but I'm a big Lady Antebellum fan as well. Lady A, as they now go by.
Why didn't you learn a Taylor Swift song when you first picked it up?
Oh, I think I did. I think that was next up. I think I probably did 15 or Love Story, very in the same world.
Okay. You have a twin sister named Ellen. Is this true?
It is very true.
Is she a music like you?
No, she's very unmusical. She has no tune in her body.
How did that happen? But you guys are twins.
I don't know. I used to try and make her sing with me. I really wanted to be a family band, but she just wasn't up for it.
That would have been awesome.
I know. I still would. If she wanted to be in the band, I would let her in a heartbeat. But no, she's very funny and amazing, but she's definitely not musical.
Well, but then you could be the artist, or you could be the singer. She could be the person who talks between songs, and that adds to the act.
She could. That would definitely add. We look very different, so you would lose the sort of novelty. But she could do like a comedic skit.
Exactly.
I would be up for that.
So you could do like a 2-minute set between songs. What would you call your family band had this happened?
Oh no, that's such a big question. I don't know if I'm prepared to answer that. I guess we would have had to do like a Peter Split family on tour kind of situation. But truly, let me have a minute to think about that, and I'll get back to you.
Okay. Next question. Your mom was the first one to advise you to start doing busking. Is that true?
Yes.
And how was that first gig like?
Oh, wow. I mean, very scary. Honestly, I can't believe I was a busker. I definitely wouldn't do it anymore. So scary. But I think I always used to the worst bit about busking was the setting up and the packing down, because everyone would stare at you. So I used to just set up and then sing for hours and hours and hours because I didn't want to pack down and have the really embarrassing, like, moving all your stuff and everyone looking at you. So yeah, but once you were singing, it was fine. It was just kind of like singing in your room, apart from people would occasionally give you money, which was better than singing in your room.
Yep.
So no, it was a really wild experience, and definitely like something I'm really glad I did, but would definitely be too scared to do that now.
Wait, so the worst part about busking was the setting up when everyone's watching you quietly. That's what you're talking about, right?
When everyone's watching you being like, what's this girl about to do? And you're like, I'm so embarrassed, like putting your little microphone together and your little amp, and then packing down, because it's just silent as well. Like there's no noise. It's not like a film. It's just like people walking and you being like,
do you feel like they're judging you, like your equipment, like, oh, that's a Shure SM7B, that's not gonna fly, no, this one's no good?
No, I think they were more judging me, like, what are you doing, like, and also because this was me like when I was 15 and I looked about 12, so they were like, why is this child on the street like setting up some busking equipment, what's going on? But yeah, for sure. This is when Ellen could have really helped you out, by the way. She could have been my support system there, but she did not want to be. She was doing very different things. She did not fulfill her duties as a twin sister. No. Next question. Your song Smile was an album of Birds of Prey. Now, were you ever big on superheroes or superheroines? And what's one superpower that you've always wanted to have? I mean, I've never been hugely big before Birds of Prey into superhero films. But Birds of Prey was sort of one of the first ones I watched, and I was obsessed with it. I actually saw it like 3 times. And a superpower I would love to have. I would love to be. Why do I take this very seriously? Well, you should. It's a serious question. It is. I don't want to answer it. Just anything. I think I'd like to be invisible. I think that'll be the most practical. That's true. In fact, no, hang on. Totally skip that. That was a terrible answer. Okay, I'd like to be able to transport myself anywhere I want it to be. That would be by far the most practical thing. Chiefly because I can't seem to pass my driving test. So if I could just like snap my fingers and like put myself anywhere, then I would never have to pass my driving test. And I could also just be like, oh, wham bam, I'm in New York. Wham bam, I'm in Jakarta. And just be that and see people and off I go. Very useful one. I like that. Instant teleportation. And it would have come in really handy last year because you were supposed to go on a tour with Niall Horan. You would have gotten there before him on every gig. I would have. Niall would have been laps behind. I'd have been like, keep up, buddy. Keep up. Okay, so the next question for this one, of course, is you guys were supposed to start April of last year, right? And of course, because of the pandemic, it's put on hold. But what city were you most excited to see? Oh, wow. So many cities I was super excited to see. I guess cities that I'd already been to. I love Paris and I love a lot of Spain. But I'm trying to remember what was on that tour. I think there was a chance we would have gone to Russia, which would have been amazing because I mean it's obviously a very different culturally to where I'm from, but I'd love to sort of experience that. But yeah, honestly, everywhere I was excited to go to. Russia's a good pick. How did this happen? Like, how did you land this gig with them? Who knows? I think I just sort of mutual fans of each other's music.
Yeah.
And I think this was just sort of a lovely like kismet thing of us just both sort of being the right place at the right time, and him very amazingly sort of liking my music enough to think about putting me on that tour. And yeah, it would have been amazing.
How did the first like reach out happen? Because I know a lot of artists reach out to each other through the DMs. Like, did you guys do that? Go through that way?
Not for setting it up, but then afterwards, I think we DM'd each other being like, "Oh, I'm super excited for this tour."
Okay.
So it was a very lovely, wholesome time.
Okay, last question. Your 21st birthday is coming up in May 28th.
It is.
How are you going to celebrate?
Wow, I hope I can do something. We'll see, I guess, with the state of the world.
True.
But I mean, I'm just gonna hopefully, you know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I'm gonna ceremonially burn my fake IDs that I have collected over the years. I'm gonna burn them, and
you don't need it anymore.
I'm gonna celebrate my new life as an actual legal drinking adult in all major cities and states.
Are you supposed to be able to talk about this on an interview?
I mean, I'm not saying where, the fake ones are for, or if they're real, maybe they're fake.
Of course.
I don't know.
Is legal drinking age in the UK 21? I thought it would be lower.
No, it's 18.
It's 18, right? Okay, so at what age did you get that ID?
Well, that would be telling, Joey. And also, maybe it's not real. Maybe it's all a joke. Who knows?
You're right.
Not me.
Very smart. Very smart. I cannot hold you to anything in court. Things you just said.
Absolutely not.
But now you have a chance to ask me a question before we wrap things up. What would that be?
Okay. Your question is, who's the last person you texted?
You know what? Funny enough, it was the person who's supposed to get us this interview, because I was wondering, when am I going to be able to talk to Maisie? And I was getting overexcited.
Great answer. I always ask that question because it could be so awkward. People can be like, no. But amazing answer.
Well, nowadays is either that, like, my work friends or my wife. Like, there's nothing else that goes on in my life. It's boring.
Nothing else that fun. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the interview today. Thank you for making time. And everybody go listen to John Hughes Movies. I'm sure you have a whole album on the way.
I do.
Okay. Well, waiting for that. Thank you, Maisie.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Maisie Peters, and you're listening to Asia Pop 40.
Asia Pop 40.